Hi all, Hipper here. Today I am taking a first look at the new cruiser Cheshire. That is of course a British ship, and for my commander I had chosen Tennant with Fraser and Muller as inspirations for speed. And it's a pretty standard setup for me. It's the same I use for every UK cruiser pretty much. If we look at ship modules, then I have the improved rotation and double improved rudder. That's also pretty much a standard setup for me. So with an agile build, you end up with a maximum speed of 41 knots and 3.6 rudder. But just keep in mind that my Tenet is not fully upgraded yet. So the rudder could probably hit something close to 3 seconds with a fully upgraded commander. And the speed probably 42 knots. So here we are, and this is literally my first battle in this ship. And I was lucky enough to get Crash Zone, which is my favorite map. So I'm just gonna flank C like I usually do to get a bit of a look at how the match unfolds from behind an island. When I first saw this ship, I was pretty disappointed. It's pretty ugly. It's one big tall box, and I mean it's not as absolutely horrendous looking as London is, but it's not gonna win any beauty contests either. That's for sure. Now the agile build works pretty well on the ship, I think. It's it's not the best you can get at tier 6, but on the other hand, tier 6 is not a good tier for cruisers. And that's one of the points I want to get through with this video here, that I suggest you don't pick up this ship. And there's a few reasons for that. The first and foremost is that it's at tier 6. And like I said, tier 7 cruisers and battleships will absolutely tear this ship apart. And that's the same for pretty much any tier 6 cruiser. And then tier 6 cruisers, they're not really that much better than tier 5 cruisers. Like, for example, I would much rather be in Exeter than Cheshire. And I would much rather fight a Cheshire in an Exeter than the other way around. It's the same with Charlemagne. I would much rather be in a de Grasse than in Charlemagne. And I would much rather be in a Nuremberg than a York. I mean, and that's just an ongoing theme for tier 6 cruisers. It's the weakest spot in the whole chain, and I think you really have to think pretty hard before you drop money on a tier 6 cruiser. The only tier 6 cruiser that I would consider buying again if I had the option would be Indianapolis, but even then I would be thinking it over a lot. So speaking of Nuremberg, here we have one, and I'm just running away. I know his AP will hurt a lot, so trying to angle towards him and this AO by here. And if you can see, like I've always set 2 fires, and even though the reload is absolutely terrible in this ship, it's 17 seconds. It's actually 18 seconds with my build. It's you need to choose your shots wisely. Also, as you might have noticed, we don't have any smoke, and that makes us completely reliable on agility to get out of tough spots. And there's a very nice Nuremberg there. I just miss him, and as I get 4 kills in this battle, I would have had a crack in there if I have gotten him. It's okay, we get another chance, but alas, we are not walking away with a Kraken from this battle, and that's pretty much my own fault. But you'll see that later. Now I'm saying it's my fault, and that's partly true, but I mean, Cheshire is not completely innocent. One thing I have noticed in this battle and the following battles in this ship is that while the HE is pretty good, it's nice. It sets a lot of fires. You have a good fire chance, and the penetration is really good. Then the AP is very inconsistent. And in a ship like this with such a long reload, like having inconsistent AP like this ship has is a major downside. You're better off using HE 99% of the time, unfortunately, because we have a lot. I'm actually going to say I think we have enough HE spitting cruisers in this game, and we don't need another one that's relegated to pretty much shooting HE all the time. That's probably my main criticism of this ship, other than it's squishy and ugly, and that the Exeter is a better buy overall. But other than that, yeah, go ahead and buy this ship. So as you can see, I pretty much have to follow my teammates. I cannot, like I'm used to, I cannot be on the offensive all the time, and I cannot be proactive. I cannot take chances. I don't have a smoke, for example, and I'm not agile enough to rely completely on the agility. And also, I don't have the rate of fire to really make myself a threat. All I have are my single fire torps, a sonar, and a heal, and pretty good HE. And also, I only have 6 guns at tier 6. That's a major handicap. So now someone is holding on to this cap and won't let us flip it. So I'll have a look around and see if I can chase out this guy wherever he is. So we can get this cap and we can move on down to support our guys down at A. We're wasting too much time up here. Now for the first time in this match, I'm feeling confident enough to take a bit of a chance. I could have just stayed behind this island here, but instead I'm choosing to go in front and attract a little bit of fire away from that battleship there, because he's sitting right in the line of fire, and otherwise we're just gonna get the timer reset again and again. So it's better that they shoot at me and see what if we can get a little bit of draw some fire away from that guy. And also I need that battleship, so I don't want him to sink it. So you can see the agility is okay. I nearly avoided that salvo there, but another one there. So we'll just get a few torps in here to scare this destroyer out, and then I'll try to get into cover again now. I just wanted to make my presence known, and then I'm lucky enough to get a shot at this buddy Oni here, which gives me my first kill of the match. And there's like a sea of torpedoes heading towards me here now, and I think it's because I'm in a new ship, because I seem to be focused a lot in a not so bad in this battle, but in the battles after. I was target number 1 for everybody. Okay, and finally we get to cap, so we can turn around and actually do something useful up here at the other caps. So I'm just going to do another U-turn around the island again, and see if I can get into a good position to shoot at someone. I'm just dropping a few torps here just in case that destroyer wants to follow me that way. It might keep him at bay, it might not. We'll find out. So now we're getting ready to push here, and as you can see again, I have to play second line, like second fiddle to the other ships here, because this ship is squishy. Like, you can get Citadel to the bow from 15 inch, and like, you're totally reliant on your agility to survive, or you have to hide behind mountains all the time. And if you know me, like, I hate hiding behind mountains. I think if a ship requires that of me, I'm not going to play it. It's that simple. It simply makes the game too boring. I can't stand it. So here I unfortunately have HE loaded, and just a perfect broadside there. So I'm going to try again. Wait my 18-17 seconds here for my guns to reload while he's just sitting there taunting me. And I don't know what's up with my aim here. I'm aiming way too high, but so it's not really the ship's fault I don't get any citadels here. So now he sees me, and I'm almost reloaded again. But it's like waiting for your reload in this ship is it requires patience. And also, just I forgot to mention that the heal is very good. It's a really good fallback plan if you take a lot of damage. Of course, it has to be healable damage, but if that happens, you can pretty much, well, bring back a third of your hit points, something like that. It's definitely something to keep in mind, and that's also why I spec this ship so I have 3 heals, because you will absolutely need them. Mark my words. So now he's decided to sit still again, and again I aim too high. Not really sure what's going on there. I do get a citadel though. The first and only citadel in this game. So now I'm gonna take on these 3 ships here, because we are outnumbered, and if I don't do this, then they will slowly tear us down. So yeah, this is a chance, obviously, and I'm just betting everything on the fact that this battleship isn't going to move anywhere, firing all my torps in one straight line. And I have AP loaded for that Icarus there, which is unfortunate, but we'll just do a 17-second reload here while we are getting torped. And hopefully we can get in a few more shots at him. And yes, that Normandy ran into every single torp I fired. So that was perfect. And we got the Icarus, and we got a double strike there as well. This is nice. It's no Kraken, but it'll help. And now this Fiji here, I just spotted him, and I'm sure he's going to go around the island, fire torps, and pop out on the other side to try to citadel me. But I know what he's up to, so I'm just waiting till I can see the torps, and then I'll try to turn along the island here to surprise him at the other end. Because, you know, this ship can go nearly 42 knots, so it's not like I'm slow and I'll be in roughly the same position where he left me. That's not the case at all. Now, if you saw me just changing from HE to AP, that is my major mistake of this battle here. I should have stuck with HE. Because at this distance here, I'm not going to get anything good out of hitting this Fiji with AP. Like, overpens on other cruisers are like everyday occurrence in this ship. So you're better off with HE. And I should probably have been at 10-kilometer range to be able to citadel this guy with AP. I only get 1 overpen though. Most of them are ricochets, which is a bit strange. I don't think he was angled that much, but anyway, I just missed out on a Kraken there, and right now I'm pretty furious. So I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind, and I'm gonna chase this guy down. And that's my mistake. I want revenge, and I don't really care how I get it. If there's something I hate in Legends, it's chasing down a fleeing ship. It's nothing more boring than that. And because I hate doing that so much, because I'm still pretty upset about missing out on my Kraken, I'm not really paying as much attention as I should. If I had been looking at the map, I would see that there is still an Aoba left behind the island to my right. But I'm completely oblivious to that. I only have eyes for this Fiji here. And it's pretty obvious that he's shooting torps right there. But for some reason, I don't notice that. And I eat no less than 2 of them, which is amazing. So that's the end of this battle here. And as this is not my final review of the ship. It's just like literally my first battle to show you guys what you can expect. But after playing this ship for another dozen battles, I don't think that I will be too positive in my final review. If it was a tech tree ship, it would be different, but because Wargaming is actually asking money for this ship, it's a bit of a hard one to recommend to anybody, really. Anyway, as you can see, solid game at tier 6, but nothing spectacular at all. And I made a lot of mistakes, and I chalk some of them up to getting used to the ship here, not having smoke and such a squishy bow, which it really does have. But anyway, I hope it gives you a little bit of a clue to whether Cheshire is a ship that you would like to buy or not. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the battlefield.